Alright, I'm going to be talking about fandoms, or my fandoms specifically. And right off the bat, they are Harry Potter, Once Upon a Time, Merlin, Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, Doctor Who, and Sherlock. Okay, there would be more of them, but those are my main ones that I'm going to be talking about. And hopefully I can do this quickly and not waste all my time on one fandom because I tend to ramble. Alright, first and foremost, Harry Potter. It built me for fandoms. I read that in a time where I was going through some really dark, depressing thoughts and areas of my life. And it really became like my foundation for not only fandoms to come, but also for the way I look at the world. Because it taught me a lot of things. Like friendship and how, yeah, friends are going to fight. And sometimes friends are going to be selfish and you're going to want to hit them and hate them sometimes even. But ultimately, true friends are going to be there for you. And they're going to, they're going to love you no matter what. And that love is stronger than hate, which is a thing that I really had to, I've struggled with, because I try not to hate anybody. I'm not gonna lie and say I don't hate anybody, because that's a lie. I'm human. I have those emotions. But I ultimately try to love people more than I try to hate people. Mainly because hate poisons you, not the other person. It hurts you, not the person you're hating. Because usually the person you're hating could care less that you hate them. So, movies versus books. I was always a book person compared to a movie person, in general. And then, like, I love the actors of Harry Potter. I love, especially the main ones. Daniel, Rupert, Emma. Had the biggest crush on Emma growing up. Still do. She's freaking beautiful and funny. And then Tom Felton and what's her name? Evanna Lynch. I love Evanna Lynch. Okay, I love her. So, like, I feel like the movies left a lot out. Sometimes detrimentally to the story. But that could just be me really loving books and loving all the details and everything, because I don't think you necessarily lose any, like, if you never read the books, you don't go in there and watch the movie and lose something. Like, there's no disconnect with the audience, I don't think, between the movie and the people watching it. So I think ultimately they did a really good job. Some movies were better than others. Number 3 still stands out in my mind as being one of the best. And then the second part of the 7th movie was awesome. Alright, that was Harry Potter. Now on to Once Upon a Time. Like I said in my reviews on here before about Once Upon a Time, it made me like the fairy tales. Because I wasn't a big fairy tale fan. I couldn't really relate to the women it portrayed. Because a lot of them were more damsel in distress. Guy, come save me. I need to be saved. Oh God, I can't do anything by myself. Shut up. Pull on your big girl panties and go get shit done. So I couldn't, so Once Upon a Time really does a good job of making it relatable, making the heroines relatable, and not, like modernizing it in a way. I also like the fact that you kind of see what happens behind the scenes. Like, okay, everybody knows the stories, But what don't you know? What happened in all that time in between? Because there's a lot of stuff you don't know. It's like we got the outline version and now they're filling it in, and I love that. Because I've always been a fan of what happens after, what happened before, what happened in between the scenes that you saw. That's why I read a lot of fan fiction. It's what it's there for. But yeah, that's basically all I have about Once Upon a Time. If you want to see more of my rants about it, go to my Once Upon a Time reviews, because they're on here too. Merlin. If anybody doesn't know what Merlin is, it's a British television show about King Arthur, and King Arthur and Merlin, obviously, and the take on it is that they are the same age and that they're younger, like late teenagers, early 20s, and it's their life. And it's before Arthur was a king and he was a prince and he was arrogant and kind of an ass, and Merlin was a bumbling, awkward, just coming into his powers, really. I mean, he'd always had them, but he was awkward. He was a teenager, basically. We're all awkward. Hell, I'm still awkward, and I'm almost 20. So, but yeah, Merlin, in a lot of ways, taught me, not necessarily taught me, but really showcased loyalty. And that true loyalty hurts in a lot of ways. And because being loyal to somebody isn't saying, I'm gonna like you, and I'm going to stick by you because it suits me and it's good for me right now and everything is going good. It's sticking by someone when it hurts you to do so, when things aren't looking so good, when life is kind of shitty, and saying, you know what, oh well, you're my friend, or, you know, you're my family, I'm loyal to you. So yeah, I like that. And of course in the show it's magic, but it's really the sense of weapons aren't evil. Evil is something found in the hearts of men. And when I say men, I mean women, men, and any variation thereupon. It's found in the hearts of men. That is not something that a weapon can have. You know, whether it's magic, a sword, a gun, a knife, you can pick it up and do good, or you can pick it up and go on a murderous rampage. Just depends. And I could go on further, and I probably will, because I would probably end up doing videos for each of these, some of them at least. But anyway, Game of Thrones. I don't have a lot on that, only because there is so much in each season that I could get into, but I won't, because I'm one of these people who haven't read the books. I've tried, but reading a Game of Thrones book and going to college does not mesh well. At all. In fact, reading anything for pleasure while trying to go to college does not mesh well. Unless it's like fan fiction, and you can take it on your phone or computer or whatever, and you're reading that instead of doing what you need to be doing, like homework. But anyway, I love this sorry. I love this saying, winter is coming. Mainly because it's so ominous. It's like people who say, what, we're all gonna die eventually. You know, it's true. Winter is coming. It's kind of that, that sense of dread in your stomach that something bad is going to happen, that the end is coming, that you're not gonna like what's up ahead, that, you know, the unknown, winter is coming. I like the line about it, never forget what you are. I think it's Tyrion, however you want to say his name, that says it, where he's like, never forget what you are, because the world never will. So use it like armor, and then nobody can hurt you with it. Which I find to be very true. Whether that's, you know, anything really, that you can be bullied about, or made fun of about, or hated on about. be honest about it. Be upfront about it. Don't like go off and like rub it in everybody's face like as soon as you meet them. Hi, I'm this and this, or hi, I do this and this, or don't be like that. But be proud of who you are. And if you're proud of who you are, truly proud of who you are, that light, that pride will shine through, and people will know it. So yeah. And if people know you're proud of who you are and proud of what you and who you are and how you identify or what you do, they can't use it to hurt you, because how can you hurt somebody when they're proud of it? So yeah. Now on to The Walking Dead. And I am running out of time, damn it. Okay. Walking Dead. 2 quick notes. I would die. Okay, if there was suddenly a zombie apocalypse thing, my ass would be dead. Alright, because I am on the 5th floor of a building, and that is a lot of people below me and on the same floor, and I would have to find a way to get down and then be in a heavily populated college town. Yeah, I would die. Alright, my ass would be dead. And Rick. I would go into all the characters or everything, but really the only thing I think about Rick now when I watch later episodes, because I've caught up with this season right now, is all aboard the crazy train. I understand, I get where he's coming from, just saying, that's my only thoughts about him. All aboard the crazy train. Okay, Doctor Who. Whew. Alright, taught me, and it did teach me this, and it was something that I already kind of knew, but like it solidified it in my head, that everyone is important, that, it doesn't matter what your title or your name is, or your lack of title, or, prestigious name. Everybody is important. Even the people you don't necessarily like. They're important in some way to someone. They matter. And then it's also okay to run away from things, as long as you know you can't run forever. As long as you know that eventually you're going to have to turn around, face it, and deal. But it's okay to run away. And to be brave enough to stand up for what you believe in. Especially if you think something's wrong. To be able to go, hey, no. This isn't right. This isn't cool. Just stop. Be able to be brave enough to stand up and say that. Which is harder to do than you would think. Yeah, that's another one I could go on forever about, is Doctor Who. Alright, last and finally, and I'm sorry for the quickness of this and my rambling, Sherlock. How's everybody, how are you, Sherlockians, however you want to say it? How are you? Are you good? Been a long time. Still waiting? 'Cause I am. So's John. Oops, went there. Bromance versus romance. I don't know, because, like, I don't necessarily think it's romance in the conventional, traditional sense, but then I don't think it's bromance either in that conventional, traditional sense. It's love, okay? That is what it is. It is steadfast, loving someone for their flaws and insecurities and their best parts of them and the worst parts of them, and understanding them and knowing it and loving them in spite of and because of that. That is what it is. That is how it is. And that is beautiful in that sense. And let's be honest, Benedict Cumberbatch's cheekbones in Sherlock, to die for. Okay, that's all that needs to be said. To die for. And he makes me want to walk around with my coat collar up all the time and be all mysterious. But I don't have the cheekbones for it, obviously. Anyway, that was my very short, fast review of my fandoms and the ones that I love. I will be posting a video later about my ships in each fandom, and the video will focus on each fandom individually, because I have too many from each fandom to really get into right now. So, if you like this, or agree, or disagree about something, or want to add a fandom, or think I was wrong about a fandom, comment, please, and talk to me and let me know. Alright,